Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Clash at the Castle is now behind us. Some interesting stuff happened here. Cody Rhodes winning the I Quit match was very expected. Very good match as well. Cody and AJ definitely delivered. Bayley retaining her championship against Piper, which honestly may have been a sleeper match on the show, was also expected to me. The other ones we're going to talk about. Man, the women's tag team title match, I honestly did not think was going to happen the way it did. I did not think Bianca and Jade were going to lose so soon. That probably honestly means to me Bianca and Jade are going to participate in Money in the Bank. That's what I kind of see happening. I don't know how long Isla and Alba will hold the women's tag team titles, but good moment for them, and maybe now they can get, a decent push as tag team champions. Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. Definitely thought Chad Gable probably was going to take the dub, but I think they're probably going to honestly have Chad Gable win in Canada because the first match he had against Sammy with the championship on the line was in Montreal, and I think they're going to kind of revisit the story where Chad Gable turned heel, but the Creeds helped Chad Gable win because obviously Otis and Maxine aren't living up to what Chad Gable wants them to be, so I think they're going to have another match again, run it back, and maybe this time with a stipulation, like, if I lose, I'll leave WWE or make it a street fight, something with the stipulation. I think they'll probably raise the stakes, a little bit further. Let's talk about Drew McIntyre, though, man. That's the big one. Man, we knew CM Punk was going to play a factor in this because from storyline perspectives, it only makes sense for CM Punk to show up and cost Drew the championship because, Drew McIntyre kind of started, jabbing, the sword at CM Punk when he said he prayed for his injury after injuring him and all that stuff. So it did make sense from a storyline perspective, but can't help but to feel bad for Drew McIntyre for so many reasons. He's literally been that one guy the last 4 years who's been in the main event scene chasing just the one moment that he's been wanting. When he won the Royal Rumble, great reaction. Everybody knew that was his time. And then COVID happens, wasn't able to go to WrestleMania and win the championship in front of a crowd and get that big feel, right? He did win the WWE Championship, had a little run as champion during the pandemic, was killing it and everything. But then ever since then, he's been having to either help elevate others, during their championship runs because it was only the right time for them to get their push. Like when he had to put over Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley just become champion. They wanted to push him as champion. Then he put over Big E to try to establish his run as champion. Then, of course, Roman Reigns is on this iconic run as champion. It wasn't time for it to end yet. And then Seth Rollins, had to establish his run further as champion. So it's like he's being put in these situations to help elevate others, which is cool. And then he's also put in these situations where he's like, he gets screwed from storyline perspectives, like when Solo comes out to help Roman, okay? That progresses and helps the Bloodline storyline. Or CM Punk comes out to cost Drew McIntyre, and that progresses their storyline. He's keeps being put in these positions where he's in these big environments because wrestling in Scotland in front of your hometown, in front of your family, friends, big deal for people like that over there because they don't get big shows like that over there. And they had a big opportunity to have a really big moment where you could have had a special, moment that we've seen in wrestling where the emotion comes out and you finally achieve, something big in front of your peers and your family and your friends and you do it in front of your country people. Like, those are moments that you really can't get all the time in wrestling. And it makes you wonder, like, they've had opportunities to give Drew these big moments. And the fans' big moments. Clash of the Castle 2 years ago. WrestleMania this year. Even though Drew won, didn't get to have the championship long. So he never got to fully embrace and have a big moment. And then, tonight at Clash at the Castle, bro, in Scotland, I mean, the moment was right there. It could have been so big. But then again, it's like, okay, what's more important, giving Drew the big moment or progressing this Punk and Drew storyline? Which, yes, you could say if Drew won the championship, you still could have used that a part of the Punk and Drew story. I agree, but I mean, for Punk to cost Drew the championship in his hometown, I mean, that's only going to make the storyline way more personal. I think Drew McIntyre should have won. I think he was the correct winner, and I still stand by that. But I understand what had to be done for the story to progress and get more personal for it to move forward. Overall, though, I honestly do think the show was pretty solid. I mean, it wasn't better than the first Clash at the Castle. I still think the first Clash at the Castle was miles better than that. And, the crowd in Scotland was fun to watch. Pretty cool. I'm pretty sure they'll have more shows like that out there for the future, hopefully, because, these international shows are just becoming really special. Money in the Bank is going to be very interesting, though, man. You still got Priest as champion, Cody's still the champion, Bayley's still champion, you got new women's tag team champions, Liv is still the champion right now, you got this Punk and Drew storyline progressing. Seems like CM Punk is very close to getting cleared as well. You got the whole bloodline stuff still. Like, Money in the Bank is going to be quite interesting to see not only who qualifies for the Money in the Bank, but to see what other stories they progress and put on the show because these PLEs have only had like 5 matches the last couple of months. So it seems like Triple H likes the smaller match cards to be able to tell better stories and matches and give the matches more time and everything to progress and be better. So I don't know if exactly Money in the Bank will have 5 matches total this year, but there's only going to be certain spots for so many things. That's basically what I've been, seeing with Triple H now being in charge. So I'm interested to see what he feels on the show and how it turns out. I'm excited for Money in the Bank. I think Money in the Bank is going to be great. I'm going to be at SummerSlam this year, so SummerSlam honestly is going to be the most anticipated show of the year, probably, if we're being honest. Like, with Roman's possible comeback being there, Seth Rollins' possible comeback maybe, and Charlotte Flair's possible comeback. You got so many people right now that are injured that could possibly show up. You never know. And I honestly think SummerSlam is going to be one for the ages.